10 things I thought were important in retirement, but just aren't. My name's Joe. I've been retired for 6.5 years. Thought you would enjoy this list. Let's jump right into it. Number one, every day will feel like a vacation. That's the dream. That's the thought. Um, yeah, maybe for a couple of months, but sitting on the beach, sipping on a margarita, that kind of fades fast, at least for me. Retirement is real life with routines, responsibilities. There's ups and downs, your emotions. It's more like every day is a Saturday, but you don't have to get as many things done on a typical Saturday as you do when you're working. My pace is slowed down, but I do like my morning routines. I like one, maybe two. No, that's not really true. I've like zero, maybe one activity on my calendar to do a day, and that's just fine. So it's not like a vacation. I wouldn't say that. It's more like every day Saturday. Number two, you need endless hobbies lined up before you retire. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you retire? Yes, I think it's good to have that list of things to do when you're going to retire. And that's for incentive to jump, because it's always going to make sense financially to work one more year. You're going to have a lot of fear. So you got to get excited about something. But once you retire, you can ebb and flow in and out of hobbies. I did a lot of that. I did a lot of fishing when I was first retired. I don't do that at all now. I did consulting and mentoring a lot when I retired. I do very little of that right now. No consulting, actually. I got a few folks I mentor, and I enjoy doing that, and I think it's helpful. Um, I don't have to fill up every hour of every day, to win the retirement game. I do volunteer work. Yesterday, I painted for 8 hours at Habitat in a local community. The homeowner was with me, and also two other homeowners in the area. You have to put in like 400 hours of sweat equity when you're going into a Habitat home, so they helped us paint. So my hobbies and interests change. I didn't make YouTube videos on retirement for 3 years into retirement. So number three, big spending equals happiness. No, no, not at all. New cars, and this is for me again. We'd like to travel, but I don't do luxury traveling. Constantly dining out, we don't do that. Sometimes we'll go weeks without going out to eat, and then there's other weeks we'll go out to eat 3 or 4 times. But we found that we enjoy cooking at home. We enjoy being together, my wife and I. And it's the simple pleasures, having a conversation with a neighbor, going out to lunch with a neighbor, taking a walk with a friend, hanging out on the back porch. Those are the things that bring lasting happiness. Getting together with family, that's huge. We had a huge family gathering this past weekend. One of my sons is getting married in a couple months, and we just had a massive gathering of folks and a lot of food. Maybe that's where my wife and I splurge a little bit. We get together with a lot of people and feed 40, 50 people all the time. Number four, I'll finally get caught up on everything. That's important. No, I did finish the to-do list I had when I retired. So, last couple months before I retired, I wrote down things I wanted to do around the yard. One of them was, I wanted to caulk around all the windows, clean out the gutters, install gutter guards, things like that. And I thought that list would keep me busy for like 30 days. It kept me busy for about 2 weeks because I was so driven to accomplish. I was working 10-hour days in the yard. And in retirement, you slow down. I slowed down a lot. I cannot accomplish in a day what I used to accomplish in a day because I'm strolling, if that makes sense. I'm strolling through life and enjoying the day, the moment, the friends, and the experience, not trying to rush and get it done because I only have so much free time. I only have so much time. This Saturday, I got to cut the grass, trim the bushes. I've got to do this shopping. I've got to make this repair to the dishwasher, whatever it is. Um, that drive to accomplish 10 things on a weekend is just not there. And there's always seems to be something creeping up, and something recently. And I've mentioned this before. Two of my kids moved to the town that I'm in. All four of our kids were spread out around the country. Now two of them are here, and that provides a lot of opportunity to work with them and be with them and help them out on home projects. So I don't feel caught up. I'm more caught up than I was when I was working, but I see an endless amount of activities and needs. I worked out in the yard all day today working on my sprinkler system. Number 5, you must have the perfect plan on day one. You got to have the perfect plan day one of retirement. Put it all in a spreadsheet. Nah, just let it develop. Let it develop. And I'm talking about just your plan for what you're going to do in the average day, not a financial plan. Number 6, market swings will dominate my peace of mind. No, not at all. I talk far more about retirement financing on this channel than I stress about my own. I use buckets. I have 2 buckets. I got bucket 1, which is money I need from my investments, net of income. So income, that I got a small pension. I got some deferred compensation money that I saved. I got that coming in. I got some YouTube income coming in. And then net of that, what do I need from my investments? I have that 10 years of that investment income in fixed assets, like bonds, like CDs, like treasuries. And, when like 2020 happened, I retired in 19. 2020 happened, I didn't think twice about money. I was more worried about, the pandemic, but not about money. I knew I had that covered. And then when 2023 came and, I was down 30% in my bucket 2 money, my long-term growth money, I didn't stress it at all. Not 1 second. I knew it'd come back. Always has. No promise of the future, but I've got 10 years and I've studied a lot. I've studied bear markets. I've studied bull markets and recovery time. And I should be very, very safe with what my plan is. So when the market moves around, I really don't think much about it. I love when it moves up. I'll be honest. I love when it moves up. But when it's going down and it's down 20, 30%, that's what we've experienced since I've been retired. Not even a thought. And then, with the tariffs and the scare around those at the beginning of this year, not one moment of sleep. My analysis that I do for confidence to spend and make sure I don't need to do any tweaks to my plan, I was doing that once a quarter. And if you've been a viewer of this channel, you know that I recently changed that to once every 6 months. I'm not doing anything once a quarter with my bucket. So every 6 months, I'm going to start doing that. It started this year. I don't pay that much attention to it. Number 7, travel is everything. My wife and I love travel. I thought we would be doing a lot more travel, and we've decided that between 5 and 6 2-week vacations is great. We've gone to Florida for a month. We've gone out west for 3 weeks a couple times, and we've enjoyed that. But not, and that, I guess if you look at that, you say 6 2-week vacation, that's 12 weeks. You got another 40 weeks to do something during the year. So it is a big part of our retirement journey, but not the biggest part. Our routine and our community and our friends, family, far a bigger portion of our retirement than travel. Love travel. Love, love, love. Number 8, work friends will stay central. No. Most of those relationships fade. Now we get together. I have a retirement group, people that worked at my same company. We get together on Fridays. But I've met people that I really didn't have a close relationship through this group, and we've gotten closer. It's really yeah, we did have work in common, but not working. They weren't really people that I hung out with and went to lunch with when I was at work. It's more a new group of friends that happen to work at the same place, and we have funny stories and we laugh about. But the people that are still working, and vast majority of the people, I love bumping into them in the community, but I can't say that we're friends and we go out to dinner and we go to movies and we go on vacations together. That doesn't happen. Number 9, health will take care of itself. Man, this was huge for me. As soon as I got over the euphoria of retirement, I remember the day. It was like, oh my gosh, how long is my health span going to be? How long am I going to be healthy to enjoy this every day is Saturday? And, there's a lot of bad luck that people have, but I decided that I didn't want a short health span to be my fault. Okay, health span is completely different than lifespan. Health span is you're ready to go. You're physically able to do whatever you want to do. It's going to be limited in my 60s and 70s and early 80s, but I don't want to be, sitting in a chair and have somebody have to take care of me, when I'm 75. May happen, but I don't want it to be my fault. What's my fault? Lack of exercise, lack of stretching, lack of checkups, just the preventative work that can be done, good sleep, stress, eating right, all those things are my choice. And they're not easy. Exercise occupies a lot of my time. By the time I wake up in the morning to done exercising, stretching, relaxing right after that, kind of a cool down, and take a shower, it's like 10:30 in the morning. Okay, so it's a big part of my life. I enjoy it. It is relaxing. I'm not, I sweat a lot, and I do enjoy that. But the hardest part for me is the diet. Trying to eat whole foods, 1-ingredient foods, 2 meals a day, no snacks. That's a daily battle for me. I'll be honest. It's a daily battle. The last bullet that, what I thought would be true, but is not, not having structure. Retirement is freedom from structure. And at first it feels great not to have any structure. You just wake up, what do I want to do today? And I guess, it's hard to explain, but I like having some structure. I wake up basically the same time every day, right about around 7 o'clock. I have my exercise routine, and I go through that. I like having that routine. This is what I'm going to do. Then I may check the news. Then my wife and I may eat together. I may have a volunteer opportunity. She may have a different volunteer opportunity. I may make a video. I may cut the grass. I may hang out with friends. But I do have an electronic calendar, and I like it. Now, I don't like more than, one or so items on that electronic calendar a day. But sometimes I have two. If they're small events, like, hey, I need to do something like, let's say, record a video, for example. I'll put that on a calendar and say, hey, I'd like to record a video this day if I don't have anything else going on. The big difference is there's nothing solid about my schedule. It's very easy to float things. And, so I'm moving things out instead of saying, hey, I want to cut grass on Saturday. I don't put that on my calendar. But if I did, I can push it to Sunday. I could push it to pull it back into Friday. It doesn't matter. everything on my schedule is very, very flexible because I don't have a boss. I don't have any accomplishment I'm trying to get or achieve. So yeah, so freedom from structure. So, hey, I'm trying to include an action summary in here for you, the viewer. Talk to somebody that is actually retired. I know if you're pre-retirement, you're focused on the money, the money, the money, the money. But you may have some of these things that ended up being false for me in retirement. So that's why I make these videos, to share what the daily life of a retiree is, give you the whole experience. So talk to somebody that is retired and maybe have a clearer picture around what you're going to be doing in retirement. And that may or will spill over into your finances. Some people, are thinking, hey, maybe I'm going to travel 30 weeks of the year. They put that into their budget. They end up working 2, 3, 4, 5 more years because of that. And then it doesn't come true for them that they spend that kind of money. And they could have retired 2 to 3 years earlier. Okay? Make sense? Let's go out.